The military leaderships of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger have had frosty relations with ECOWAS ever since they took power in their respective countries through military coups. ECOWAS had been engaged in talks with all three around concrete plans for a transition to democracy, but all of that now appears to be up in smoke with a decision by the three countries to pull out of ECOWAS.
I think it was inevitable. They had already given indications that they didn't care so much for the feelings of the West African sub-region and that their interest was at variance with that of ECOWAS. I think it was inevitable that sooner or later something was going to give.
ECOWAS has since put out a statement saying it had yet to receive any official communication from the three countries confirming their decision to leave the regional bloc. It says, however, it remains committed to finding a negotiated solution to the political impasse and promised further pronouncements on the issue.
I think what they had done now is to preempt whatever ECOWAS would do, immediately announce your exit from ECOWAS, and so if ECOWAS now wants you back, it will now be on your terms. But the long-term disadvantage for them is that the country will even suffer more because the benefits that accrues to them as a member of the ECOWAS bloc are more than them wanting to stand alone.
I think we should not close the door. We should leave open the possibility that these countries might want to come back. But I know that it's a bit difficult right now. We should continue because regardless of what they feel, they are still neighboring countries. They are still, West African countries, and they are still our brothers and sisters.
Should the three countries choose to stand their ground and leave the regional bloc, the decision could seriously impact their trade relations with the remaining ECOWAS member states, as well as impede the flow of goods and services.
When you work together as a group, you muster all your various powers and abilities and bring it to the table. And everybody is going to share from that pool. So these countries are going to be left without that.
I think it is something that these countries should properly, rethink and manage. Otherwise, if they are isolated, people were already calling on ECOWAS not to isolate them, and then you now want to isolate yourself. And mind you, they had isolated France. They are isolating, their local economic bloc now. So it's not going to be an easy one for them.
It's the first time in its almost 50-year history that ECOWAS is facing the potential exit of three members at the same time. The three countries have since forged their own bloc known as the Alliance of Sahel States, which they will likely look to fortify.
It's one thing to form an alliance or a regional bloc. It's another thing to achieve the results that you set out for yourselves. So it's not in words now, but in action, what they're able to do. Perhaps they are going to also embrace some other foreign powers too, which some of us suspect that Russia is a country that they have been showing, interest in. And so let's see whether they will be able to work with Russia and then see how that alliance will be able to help them.
We're likely to see more talks between the three countries and ECOWAS in the coming days and weeks to try and resolve this issue. But if the three insist on leaving the bloc, it could also have ramifications on their relationships with the wider African Union.